Anyway, so I've been buying some stocks. I have levels set for lower down. I shared with you the other week I had shorted the SPY. I bought some puts on the SPY, which basically is an insurance policy so that if the price collapses and whilst my stocks are going down, my gold and silver should be going up. And the puts, if you buy a put, and I only buy puts and I only buy calls, I don't do anything complicated, and I'm not interested in selling calls for premiums and things. It's not my game. But I bought these as an insurance policy, and at the minute, the other day, they were well in profit, and now they're not. But my stocks are back in profit. So it's all about being strategic with what we're doing. But in the 1st of October, I explained I was taking profits and what to invest in next. And I talked about in here, if you go back and have a look at this, this is in my investing analysis blog. And I was talking about how my stocks were up so much, gold and silver. I haven't sold any gold and silver, the metals, although I've since discovered my old Portuguese accountant didn't tell me there is no tax on gold in Portugal. So, woohoo, that's where some more money is going to go shortly. And there's no tax on crypto either in Portugal if you hold it for more than a year. So that's why I'm not selling the crypto either. But I explained that some of the gold miners were up 150, 200%. So I was trimming positions because if you have a section in your portfolio that goes up too much, then the balance becomes distorted. And it was a good decision because since they've dropped and I bought back in on the dips. And so if you want to have a look into here, go back over this one. This is from 7 weeks ago. Why I was starting to take profits, why I was getting twitchy, and why it's turned out to be a good idea. And then other things that you've got in here. So this was that post there. And then there was another post I did in 7th of November, I was buying again. I was nibbling away and buying a few things. And as I was talking here, many of the stocks I'm looking to add were over 50% higher a few weeks ago, and one was 150%. And I did buy some more of this again the other day. What I tend to do with things like this is I nibble my way in. So like I've just shown you with the SPY, if I was wanting to buy the SPY, I would be looking at 630 and definitely anywhere around 600 because it's clearly massive, major previous support and resistance. It's a whole number, psychological level, and I've got the weekly 55 EMA in there. So if this tanks, that would be the point at which I would be seriously tempted to take some profit on the puts and to buy back in again. And I am going to explain in a moment my fundamental reasons why I am still buying into some things at the moment. So it's a good area to start. Go back in here, say if you go to the mentor blog and my investing one, this was the thinking at the time. And this is what's really important when you're looking at markets and things. Everybody can be a wise ass after the event, but it's how you felt at the time. And it's the emotion that kills all of us. And I was saying the other week, I have a good friend of mine, one of my best friends from India, lives in Lanzarote, and I gave him access to YIF years ago, and he's in my Telegram group, and I send out messages that I was buying gold at $1,700. He rings me the other week when it's at 4,200. Should I be buying gold? And everybody was talking about should I be buying gold? And I explained, even when I think Jamie Dimon came out saying buying gold, that the rigged game was, it was clear that profits were going to be taken. So the more you understand about what's going on in the background, fundamentally, the easier you sleep when we're in the current market that we're in. And I am at the moment in the process of updating the M2 area. So I'm going to record more videos today. So during this week, the goal is to get as many done as possible. So it will be more up to date. Now, we had comments of late with people saying, oh, some of these videos are 20 years old. And I say, well, if you were studying history and philosophy, you'd be reading books from 300 years ago. And the positive with this is that the good thing to me is that I've been using this strategy for 25 years. And I have taken lots of things off over the years. But as a proof of concept, it works. And therefore, why reinvent the wheel? The reason why I'm going to update some of it is that I don't use a lot of the old EMAs and I don't use the spaghetti indicator and other things. So I am going to start working my way through here. And so in the next week or so, it will be all much better than it is at the minute. Now, one of the reasons why I have been buying things, I traded and invested through the dot-com boom. I was a retail rookie and it was investing rather than just trading. But when the dot-com crashed, there were just so many companies that weren't making any money, and even the top dogs and the big names all went bust, of the vast majority of them. And even Amazon, as I mentioned before, in 2003, Amazon dropped 95%. So the difference is this time, this time it's different. But the things that have been holding the US stock market up for the last 4 or 5 years are the FANG stocks. And the FANG stocks have just reported their results for the third quarter. And year on year, Meta is an issue. I bought some yesterday. Apple is up 8% year on year revenue, and profitability is up 86%. Amazon up 13% change in revenue, up 39%, 17% for Netflix, 8% year on year, Alphabet 16%, 33%. So yes, these companies have been spending an absolute fortune on AI and AI infrastructure and all the rest of it. But for most of them, other than Meta, it's showing significantly on their bottom line. So this is a decent article for you to have a read through. I'll post the link for this in the recording of this. But this is part of my thinking as to why I am still buying and still in this sector. Now, I said the other week, last time I was explaining, I just started a new portfolio for a private client, and I'd basically put 20% in. Well, of 117,000 that he's got, we only spent, I think it was in the end, £25,000. But we put 20% into mining stocks, 20% into uranium, 20% into crypto-related stocks. And at the moment, the crypto-related stocks have got the potential to make more than actual crypto. And for example, MicroStrategy at the moment is 140% lower than where it was 3 months ago, whereas Bitcoin is only 40%. And again, people say, Bitcoin crypto, it's far too scary, it's stupid, it's insane, it's got no real reason. Yeah, it's down 40%. I haven't lost any sleep. What I have is bought and paid for the reasons I've explained before. And I did actually buy some the other week at 91. I paid for it out of profit on some of the smaller stuff. And I have, since then, I've been buying stocks rather than the actual item. But I'm happy doing that. Now, this is a good email. I don't think you can share this. This guy, David Jensen, studies the silver market in London. And part of the reason why gold and silver has been going up is that for years, JP Morgan and others have rigged the silver market. Their traders, some of their traders were accused of racketeering a few years ago in court. And they basically, you have futures contracts that are paper contracts that normally the purchaser of the contract makes a profit and just takes it in cash. Well, now they're demanding physical metal and there ain't enough of it. And again, this is another rigged game that's been going on in London for a very long time as well. And so this is an interesting article talking about the shortage. When contracts are coming up to expire and the purchaser is demanding gold and silver, there's nothing there. The cupboard is bare. And this time of year, Ashley knows better than me, the demand for silver and gold, traditionally in India, and I think China, it's the same time of year as well. There's a big buying spree, and that's for jewelry as much as anything else. But the demand for physical gold and physical silver is up, and the supply is down, and therefore I bought more metals again the other day. This is a video that David Jensen recorded the other day. I don't know this chap, but he's explaining about how the silver markets work and what's going on, and why he is a long-term silver bullion buff. And I have twice as much silver as gold. That was before I found out that gold is tax-free in Portugal. Oh dear. Right, and then another thing I explained about Trump with stable coins. For every stable coin that is issued, stablecoin companies have to hold an equivalent amount of US dollars. And what they are doing is parking them in short-term bonds. The Chinese and the Japanese, the biggest previous buyers of US bonds, are not buying them anymore, because who wants to lend money to a company that's bankrupt? And politically, China obviously is not in the business of helping America either. So it's really important for Trump that the crypto does rebound and stable coins go with it. So again, these were all articles about this earlier on. And then gold. I explained before, I follow a guy on Substack called Alistair McLeod. In his 70s, been involved in gold all his life, and he tells the tale of a few years ago. He worked and lived in China, went out drinking with a Chinese general one night, as you do. They got a bit tipsy, or they got smashed, and the general took him to an aircraft hangar, and they slid the doors back, and he said it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark, except it was full from floor to ceiling of gold bars, and this had not been declared. And there's a lot of talk of China has been accumulating a lot of gold and are going to great lengths to hide the fact that they are doing so. Two suggestions for this. One is the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and more joining in by the minute. Half of the world are involved in the BRICS countries, and has been ongoing talk for years that they may want to create their own currency, or the Chinese may back the yuan with gold rather than the bits of paper that we hold in the West. So again, this is all about secret purchases of Chinese gold, and the fact that seasonally this is also demand important in the gold and silver markets. So what I bought the other day was quite a lot of stuff, really. Some of it's for me, some of it was for clients, some of it's for clients who are just starting. Gold the other week, we were saying when it came down to 78.6 fib and came back down anywhere near 4 grand, was a buy for me, technically. We have the trend line, we've got 55 EMA, 78.6 fib, but I am more interested in buying gold in event of a crash, and also because there's a shortage in physical gold, and explained before, it takes 10 years and $1 billion to open a new mine. And again, we are in a supply and demand squeeze. So gold so far this year has been up 67% at its peak. And I explained the other week, this was the time, that was the day that Jamie Dimon said, oh, maybe holding some gold's not a bad idea. Well, what's the betting that he, as in JP Morgan, owned a shed load of gold mining stocks? Because the very next day it pulled back down. So for me, that was a buy. The mining stocks are a better buy because the potential gains, if you were to buy gold today, for example, here, it's only 6% off its recent high. Silver, which is up, was your silver up this year? Oh, I can't remember, 70 odd percent silver. Where have we gone? Down here at its peak, 88% silver this year. Remember, I was telling you to buy, not financial advice, I was explaining why I was start buying it at 17 bucks. And all of these were M2 breakouts and buying opportunities on the way up. And that was a buying opportunity the other week. And I told you this when this was here in a live session a few weeks ago. I said $46, 46 to 50, I would be a buyer of more silver. And it came down and it touched 78.6 fib on the trend line, and bang, off it went again. Now, for me personally, I wouldn't add more. I've added some more here, wouldn't add more here, but some of the gold and silver miners. I bought this the other day for myself and for some clients. So we bought in here, and I only buy a stock if it can make at least 25% in a fairly short space of time. This was 40% higher. Remember, Jamie Dimon said that was a good day to be buying gold, and by association silver, and off it dropped. So again, we are all living and trading through a rigged market. This is EXK, my best performing silver miner last year, made me 260%. And this year, so I've just shown you that gold and silver is up 88%. And this year, this stock, where have we gone? Is up 200%. So gold and silver miners give you leverage without the leverage. And so we bought some more of this the other day. I forgot to put the arrow in to remind me, but we bought some more here for Andy and another new client of mine as well that I helped to manage some money with. So again, This had the potential, and still now has the potential, to make 35% to where it was 3 weeks ago. For me, that was a buy. Other things I have bought, I bought some more MSOS, the cannabis stock. This is the one, if you recall, that Trump is highly likely to legalize cannabis, to change the tax status of the manufacturers. And again, this is how I do stuff. I buy stuff in bits. Bought a bit here, bought a bit here. I think I probably took some profit up here once it doubled, went up 140% in 3 months. I will have taken some of the stake out, bought some more on the dip, bought some more on the dip, bought some more on the breakout, bought some more, bought some more. So I don't pile in. If I was going to put 10 grand into something, I don't pile in with 10 grand here. I put in a 1, and I put a 1, and a 1, a 1, a 1, a 1. If I put in 1,000 in, it's 100 at a time. I am interested to buy some more of this. They had really good results the other day. So even without the Trump bonus, when it does arrive finally, and it might not be till next year now, but this company just had really, really good results. Other things I bought yesterday, BMNR is a Bitcoin stock related, went up 20% yesterday. BTBT, which we already hold. I bought some more coin for a client the other day as well. This was, and coin is the biggest legal broker in America, was 72% higher in July, and it was about 50% higher in October, so 6 weeks ago. Also bought some Mara. Mara is way, way down, second biggest holder of Bitcoin on the planet, and that was 123% higher 3 weeks ago. Bought some Meta. It's just showing you the results were worse than expected. Part of that result was to do with an extraordinary tax write-off, and they are still committed to spending a lot on AI. And I also explained to you a few months ago about the AI glasses with Ray-Ban, and how the metaverse, the reason why Meta renamed was because of the metaverse, which is all to do with selling stuff. And I explained, I own some land in metaverse. That's how crazy the world is. And I remember Larry, God rest his soul, who was with us, my tech guy for many years, is dead now. He was telling me a few years back that McDonald's were hiring staff in the USA to work in the metaverse. No idea how that works. It was 32% higher a few months ago. My normal rule is 25%. I am tempted to buy some Microsoft. Now, none of this is technical analysis because it's broken the 78.6 fib, it's broken the trend line. This was where I bought Microsoft after the pullback, big pullback earlier in the year, and I closed 80% here. I am tempted to buy some more of this now. I'm watching it at the moment. I have an alarm set a little lower. It's only 18% off where it was. I would like it to come down to around 445, and so I have alarm set on here. But sometimes with the FANG stocks, I might be prepared to buy them even though it doesn't quite fit my 25% rule. Bought some more Microsoft yesterday for my daughter. She hasn't got any crypto because she's in the UK, my eldest daughter, and it's so complicated buying crypto in the UK. So I bought some of this. So remember, Bitcoin is 40% down from its recent high. Microsoft is 165% down from where it was in July, and is 110% down from where it was 6 weeks ago.
I think you meant MicroStrategy, Mark.
MicroStrategy, rather. And this one, you can in the UK buy this in an ISA, which is a tax-free account. So rather than buying crypto, which Bitcoin's only 40% if it rebounds, you can buy this to make 100% and there's no tax if you're in the UK. And there are tax structures in the US as well and around the world. So check your tax status. So say, I didn't find out until the other day about flipping gold because my previous accountant didn't tell me. 35%, I added a bit of net the other day. There was a crash, physical crash with Cloudflare, and we were affected as much as anybody else. The website went down for a few hours, but as a long-term buy, and some of these kind of bigger stocks for me are long-term buys. So I've been buying. I bought a bit of IonQ for a client yesterday. I bought some more LAES. Again, they're just ridiculously cheap at the minute, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. And if it all tanks, I will look to buy lower down as well as. So I've taken profit out starting in October. I've bought puts on the S&P, and I am heavily hedged that if the stock market collapses, that I have gold and silver. And I've shown you before in 2008, between 2007 and 9, stock market came down 60%, took 5 years to recover. Gold only came down 30%, took 12 months to recover, and then doubled. So for me, that is the balancing act that I'm doing. I also bought a few uranium infrastructure stocks the other day, as well as a bit more uranium, and all of which, of course, I cover in your investing future. Now, on the subject of talking about our sponsors and alternatives, if you're not in TradingView and you want to buy TradingView, I have a link here for you to get it. I think you get an extra $15 off if you buy it through our link, and we get a cup of coffee out of it. This is the link I'll put in the chat box. Where's my chat box gone? Right, put the link in there. Up to 80% off. I use the premium, to be honest. They keep trying to push me to go onto this one. The good thing with TradingView, they do this a couple of times a year, and they also apply the discount to current members, which I think is brilliant, because most companies give the discount to new buyers, but they don't give it to existing. So I am currently paid up. I just bought again now, so I paid $217 for another 13 months. So I'm paid up until mid 2017, I think now. But it is a bargain. So if you've been thinking about using it, you've seen how I use it. I don't use it for Forex, but I use it for all other markets and crypto and stocks and everything. And understanding where the money is flowing on a daily basis is a big part of trading for me. So if money is flowing into treasury bills, then that suggests safety. If it's flowing into crypto and the dollar, that suggests we're in a risk-off environment. And I look at that lot every day as well. And again, gold and silver are a good heads up as to whether we are in a risk-on or a risk-off situation. Oh, crumbs. Richard says no link. And the reason there's no link, hang on, is because I put it in the wrong box. There we go. There you go, Richard. So if you click that link, you get to this page, and it's a really good deal. So I'm talking of good deals. We've been sending out some emails about Ashley, and I think Rich, I was just about to reply to you, so I can save me sending an email. We're doing a Black Friday offer if you want to do private coaching with Ashley. And I trained Ashley in 2021, and he quit his job in 22, and he's been doing this for a living since. And we are going to give $500 off normal fee, and also you get 12 months of the investing future website with me as well as. And we've had a lot of people saying, look, because of the time of year, can we start paying installments, which I understand as Christmas is coming up. It is an expensive time of year. So yes, you can pay in 3 installments if you like. And Richard was one of the people who was asking yesterday's email me saying, can I start in January? And really, because of the time of year, yes, what we would do is if you want to join now and pay the deposit, then we will give you some stuff to do over Christmas. So it will help you be prepared to hit the ground running in the new year. Ashley is on his travels again. One of the benefits of being able to do this for a living and work online. He's off to Goa for a few months in January to get away from the English winter. And but he will be available then to teach. And there's a limit to how many we can take, because we tend to take people in batches and groups during the year. We work individually with you, but it's done so we can only really take 7 or 8 at any one go. And I think we've got 3 so far that have committed straight away. So if you want to do it, you need to let me know. And you can either book Ashley for a chat, or you can book me. And if you go inside the website, it's all explained in here. Where have we gone? Private coaching with Ashley. So if you go there, go through that lot. And if you're interested, then book a call with me. And I will basically try to assess if I think he's going to be able to help you or not. None of us want anybody signing up that's not ready or the unrealistic goals or whatever. So that lot is me. Let me have a look at if there are any questions before I go. I'm going to be making videos today to try update the M2 area. Henko said, good morning, Sashin. Haha, good morning. I'm planning to. Oh, right. Sashin is in London. He's thinking of packing his bags and leaving the UK as well. When the budget comes out tomorrow, it might be too late, Sashin. You might be best to go tonight. Alexei got into the pound Swissy today too, as it's always the case with probabilities, fingers crossed. Tobias from Sweden, good morning to you, Tobias. John says good morning, and he's in London as well, thinking of getting out. And training me, put that in, done that. Richard, if you'd like a chat, I will reply to the email and I'll send you a link to my diary. Righty-ho, we're going to go over to Ashley now. I said I'd only be here for a quarter of an hour this morning because I didn't have time to prepare. So, as ever, but I've left him half an hour. And Grant says, thanks a lot. Yeah, Grant, you and I are going to start working together later this week. Oh, Tobias, we're a lot who is and Tobias is looking at getting out of Sweden as well. I think half of Europe wants to go. I mean, I left England 25 years ago because I thought it was going down the toilet, and I think it's been proved to have been a good decision. And certainly the weather has helped. I had 25 years of living in 20 years living in the Canary Islands, fabulous weather. Portugal at the minute, it's getting a bit chilly, so I'm getting twitchy. I'm going to be going south for the winter again, I think. Righty-ho. So, thank you for attending one and all. Ashley will post my recording tomorrow morning. And say, if you're interested in private coaching, you can have a read through how he's benefited from this. And right, that's it from me. Over to you. Oh, Grant says, don't move to Qatar under any circumstances. Yeah, I know. Tobias, Tianis is in Saudi, and basically he says, it has many positives, and he and his wife are earning a lot of money tax free, and but they're looking at it as a 2-3 year project, and at the end of that 3 years, they will have enough money for the rest of their lives. So it's not for long term. I don't think Denver's with us this morning. He's in Dubai at the moment, but somewhere to go. Portugal's a good place to say, tax free for crypto still, if you keep it more than a year, tax free for gold, and nice people. Language is tricky, but most of them in the south speak English or Spanish, so I'm fine. Most of them speak English anyway in the tourist areas. So yeah, have a think about where you're going to go next. If you're thinking of going somewhere next, be careful with Spain. The tax system is horrendous, and the paperwork in all of the Latin countries is horrendous. But the tax system in Spain is not attractive at all. So be careful, and they do tend to victimize incomers as well. Does the tax authority? They deny it, but they're doing it. Right. Julian says, personally, I like Thailand. Yeah, I private client of mine last year. Don't know where, I haven't seen him lately. Scottish lad. Where's he gone? I've forgotten his name. He was working on the rigs in Brazil and living in Thailand. And again, it's all about quality of life. For me, I had the best 25 years of my life since I left the UK. I said to somebody the other week, I'd be on my third heart attack or dead by now. I would have been stressed to the eyeballs. I hate the weather. I hate the cold. I'm sat here now in my thermal leggings, and it's 12 degrees outside. So if you're in the UK at the minute and it's snowing, you know what I mean. Hi, Zoe. Zoe, another expat. She lives in Australia, another one from England as well. Right, over to you, Ash.
Thank you, Mark.